I consider myself a loner. I'm alone most of the time, and it feels right. Because I would feel more alone when I'm surrounded by other people. But when I'm alone, I kind of feel whole. Like other people make me feel alone because I'm different. I mean, they don't like try to make me feel alone, but when I'm with other people, I feel alone because I realize how different I am. The way that I view life is not the way that most people view life. I feel like there's something that I understand that most humans just cannot understand. So it's hard for me to connect with other people. I'm not antisocial. I know how to socialize. I'm not shy. I know how to make other people feel heard and understood. But most people don't make me feel like I'm understood. You know what I mean? Like I understand something that make me feel alone because I feel like other people just can't understand what I understand. So yeah, I'm alone most of the time, and I've like being alone most of my life actually. I've been alone. I mean, yeah, I did have friends, and I still have these people that I'll call my day ones. People that I know that yeah, whenever I need them, they're there. But they don't live where I live, so I'm kind of alone. Do I feel lonely? I don't feel lonely. I think I love being alone. Like I love being by myself. I love thinking. I love talking to myself. Because who can I talk to? Who can really, really, really understand me? Except me. It's like I'm the only person who understands me. So I love having deep conversations with myself. I mean, in my own mind. I'm not just, I don't just chill alone and just be talking like this. Like, nah. But I'll be having conversations with myself in my own mind. And I would enjoy the conversation. That's how I gain insights. I love living in my own head. I prefer um, paying attention to what's going on inside my head than what's going on, outside. I feel like an alien. Ever felt like you are an alien? Like you don't really belong here. Like you are lost. I feel like an alien. I'm a very confident person. I believe I believe that I see things the way that every human should see things. I believe that I understand things that a lot of people do not understand. I believe that I'm right. But I think most people have not reached this level of understanding, so I can't really connect with them deeply. I used to hate being alone, growing up. I used to hate being alone. I remember in 2012, I was more alone than I've ever been. I passed grade 12 in 2011 and didn't go to tertiary. So in 2012, I was just alone. All my friends went to tertiary, so I'm alone. And I'm not going to school. I felt lonely. I started taking long walks. And I got used to taking long walks. I mean, in the beginning, I wouldn't like really take like really really long walks. I'll just wake up in the morning, eat, and just walk, not knowing where I'm going, but just walk and think and think and think. Come back home feeling a little better. But I got used to taking walks, and yeah, I started taking long walks, and that's therapy. That's therapy. I do encourage people to take long walks. Take long walks. You don't have to know where you're going, but just take a just take a walk. Just think, especially when you feel bored, especially when you feel like intense emotions, and you feel like you can't really control your emotions. Just take a long walk, man. You go back home feeling better. Plus, it's a great way to exercise. I mean, if you take long walks every day, you're exercising. You don't necessarily need to be running. You are exercising. I got used to taking long walks. That's why I love recording videos when I'm taking long walks now. You know, I would be thinking these thoughts that I express on my videos. Back then when I would just be taking long walks, not saying anything. I'll just be thinking these thoughts. I will be thinking the way that I'm thinking. Like the way that I'm expressing myself would actually be the way that I'm thinking, but I wouldn't be saying anything. I'll just be, walking. So I love the fact that I'm able to communicate with you guys. I'm able to help you understand yourself better, because sometimes you can feel like there's something wrong with you. That's why you don't have friends. That's why you don't connect with a lot of people. What you must realize is that we really live in a strange world. We really live in a world where people are being controlled, where people are not supposed to be themselves, man. People are not supposed to be themselves. People are not supposed to be unique. Some of y'all are too stubborn. Like you want to be yourself no matter what. The world says, "Hey, be like this," and you're like, "Nah, man. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be who I am." I'm that way too. I'm too stubborn, so I can't really fit in. I've been programmed to just be like everyone else, but I couldn't really fit in. I was too stubborn. They tried to put me in a box, but I didn't fit in. I was too conscious, too different. Some of y'all too conscious, you're too different, so you can't really fit in. But you tell yourself that, there's something wrong with me. That's why I do not fit in. That's why I do not have friends. I don't believe that. I trust people who like being who like being by themselves, than people who like being around other people. People who like being around other people, most of them are fake. Most of them like to gossip. Most of them don't see things as they are. Most of them are not good people. People who like being alone. Most of them are good people. I know that there are people who used to be alone in the past who have done horrible things, but most people who like being alone are good people. You know, it's people who just don't fit in, people who just don't want to live life the way that society wants them to live life. You know, these are people who are rejecting the system. People who are realizing that, oh, they sound wrong here. They sound wrong with this world. Doesn't really make sense. So they are rejecting this world, and because of that, they feel alone. I mean, maybe they don't like really feel alone, but they are alone. Because you can be alone but not really feel alone. Like you can be alone and still feel whole. I feel whole even when I'm alone. I mean, when I'm with other people, I actually feel alone. So but when I'm alone, I actually feel whole. I don't think a lot of people are able to communicate with me the way that I want to be communicated with. Like I think most people are communicating at this level, but I want to communicate at this level. Even when it comes to relationships, it's the challenge that I've had to deal with is just not being like wanting a deeper level of communication. I think I'm toxic because of that. Like I want truth. I want to talk about what is real. That's kind of like make me toxic. Like when we have a problem, I want to talk about that problem. I want us to get to the truth. So, and most people don't want to get to the truth, so that kind of make me toxic. But I'm like that. I want to talk about the deepest things. You know, I want to talk about the deepest problems that are going on in the world. I want to say things as they are because I think people lie to themselves about things. And when I'm communicating with people who lie to themselves a lot, I truly feel alone. You know, I realize how different I am, and I'm like, this doesn't feel right. So sometimes when I'm talking to other people, I will take my time to like be by myself. Like if I find myself stuck with other people, sometimes I will uh, remove myself, just be alone for some time, you know, like I'm recharging or something. But really, I want to think because we were talking about things that don't make sense, and I want to think about what makes sense. Like I'm addicted to what makes sense. I'm addicted to what makes the most sense, what is really true. And that is why I trust myself, you know. That's why I trust myself. That's why I tell you guys that I don't think I'm wrong about the things that I say because I'm addicted to truth. I want the truth. I love truth. It doesn't really matter to me what the truth is. I still love it. Like I genuinely love truth. The truth always feels right to me, even if um, most people don't like it, but it feels right to me. Like I love real. Let me put it that way. Like I love truthfulness, right? I love vulnerability. Like I connect with people who are vulnerable, people who are able to express themselves as honestly as they can. People who tell me what's going on in their own heads. Those are the people that I connect with. And I can sense when a person is real, when a person is being real, when a person is being honest. And I've realized that not every person can be honest, you know. Some people have been living a life for too long that they can't really be honest. They don't even know what truth is. Because, well, they've never been real. You know, they've been programmed to just survive. So they don't know what it feels like to really, really speak the truth. But yeah, I don't think that there is something wrong with people who like being by who like being by themselves. People who are used to being alone. People who don't have friends. People who are single. I think we just live in a world where people are being programmed to be like everyone else, and some people just don't know how to fit in, and they don't really want to fit in. But yeah, I do understand that sometimes you can feel like there is something wrong with you, especially when you are still young, because you think you should be having friends, but you can get used to being alone. You can get used to being by yourself, and you start to see things as they really are. Because once you start to conform, you have to see things the way that society sees things. Like, you can't be honest about some things. Let me give you a simple example. If you were a Christian and there were some things that are going on that in your church that didn't make sense, you wouldn't be free to talk about these things. You wouldn't be free to say, hey, this doesn't make any sense to me. Why? Because you want to fit in, you want to be accepted. You don't want other people to think that you're crazy. You don't want other people to think that you have demons. You don't want other people to think that you have issues. So you pretend as if everything is okay. In fact, you would feel like you must accept things as they are. Like, not accepting things as they are means that there is something wrong with you. So you must accept things as they are. Even when you are able to say that something is wrong, but you'll be like, hey, I have to accept things as they are. If I don't accept things as they are, it actually means that there is something wrong with me. But if I accept things as they are, I would just be like everyone else, and I should be like everyone else. I should be normal. If I'm not normal, it means that there's something wrong with me. Like, no, it doesn't mean that. We live in a crazy world, bro. If there are aliens that are watching us, they are I'm pretty sure they are surprised by the stuff that's going on in this realm. Like, damn, what are they? Like, what's going on? Why do they do this? Why do they do that? Why do they like this? Why do they like that? Because we don't make sense as people. Like, we're not like, we live lives that contradict our like we're hypocrites. Let me put it that way. Like, human beings are hypocrites. They'll say this but do that. They know what they should be doing, but they're doing the opposite. Hypocrites. You know, people are loved for being fake. Like, everything is actually upside down. Like, people who are fake are loved in this world. It sucks. Sometimes you tell yourself that, well, I gotta be fake too so that I'll be loved. I should just only tell people, the things that they want to know. I mean, things that they want to hear, and that's it. I shouldn't be real. I shouldn't be honest, because, you know, people are loved for being fake. But it's true. People are loved for being fake. Everything is upside down. There's a reason why we're voting for the wrong politicians. It's because everything is upside down, you know. Like, to really play this game called life, you have to be fake and make people love you by being fake, because truth isn't loved. No wonder why guys who are fake Guys who don't have love, guys who are using women are loved more than guys who are real. It's been programmed to be that way. Like in this real, the truth is in love. The truth isn't really understood. The truth isn't really accepted. It's fakeness that's accepted. It's like that. No wonder we have fake politicians. Politicians who don't love us, who don't really care about us. But these are the people who are in power. The people who, with good intentions, people who would really make things better for us, they're not in power. Isn't that weird? Everything is upside down. We love the people who like to dance for us, people who like to manipulate us, people who wear nice suits and lie to us. For some reason, we love them. I don't love them. I'm the truth, baby. But the world loves them. It's so fucking weird, bro. But if you're real, you hate that. It will be weird to you that we love people who are fake. It will be weird to you that everything is upside down. It will be weird to you that people are not willing to be honest. People are not willing to be real. That will be weird to you. How is this here? What do you guys call this? Some people just want truth. They want what's real. And the world is too fake. So they can't really connect with it. So they prefer being by themselves, and that feels right. I mean, would you prefer being surrounded by people who don't understand you? Or do you prefer like being alone if you truly understand yourself? I think it makes more sense to be alone if you understand yourself, rather than like being surrounded by people who don't get you. I know that sometimes you tell yourself that, oh yeah, I'm lonely because I don't have friends. I should have friends and all that. But here's the thing. No one is really satisfied in this world, whether they have friends or not. It's just that you convince yourself that if you had friends you'll be satisfied. Easy. Because no one is satisfied. So you tell yourself that, oh, if I had friends I would actually be satisfied and I'll be okay. Like, nah, you wouldn't be. Because even people who have friends are not satisfied. It's just that some people are shallow. They don't think as deeply as you think. But the truth is, yeah, we just live in a weird world, man. Something is obviously wrong. Any person who's capable of seeing things as they are knows that something isn't right. Like it's obvious that something isn't right. It's obvious that there is something that is kind of like off about this reality that we are experiencing. Some people don't want to do most of the things that other people are doing. Some people don't want to work shitty jobs. Some people don't want to learn things that are not worth learning. Some of y'all were too conscious. Like you were too conscious even when you were young. You didn't fit in even when you were young. You were different the whole time. I think that's why people believe that some people have old souls. Guys, what's the name of this tree? If you know the name of this tree, please tell me. Like some people are so conscious that you're like, but this person has been here before, bro. There's no way that they can be this conscious if it's just their first time here. How is it that they are realizing that something is off about this reality? I've seen kids who are like really different. You'd see that this kid senses that something is off, you know. Especially when I was working as a teacher, I'd see that some of these kids, bro, like they can say, like, they're so damn different. You can see that they're different, and other kids don't really understand them because they're so damn different. And you can see that, oh yeah, you know, this kid will end up alone because they understand something that other kids do not understand. And you know, if a kid is misunderstood, that kid would want to be alone. But also the kids who misunderstand that kid will not really want to be with that kid. So that's how it is. Sometimes you tell yourself that, well, the reason why some people don't like you and they don't want to be around you is because you are a toxic person, or it's because there's something wrong with you. Nah, man, you're different. You see things that other people don't see. You make people uncomfortable. Even if you don't say anything, you're too damn conscious. You're vibrating at a much higher frequency. Like, you're not the same. You know what I mean? Like, you're not the same with everyone else. You're too damn conscious. And people can sense that. They just feel uncomfortable around you. Some people will just hate you for no reason. Some people will want to gossip about you. It won't really matter if you're a good person. It won't really matter if you're treating them well. They'll just gossip about you because they can sense that there is something that is different about you. And they feel uncomfortable because of that. So there's nothing wrong with being alone. You must love your own company, enjoy your own company. Try to understand yourself better. Try to become like a better vision of yourself. People who self-actualize are people who are alone most of the time. It's not people who are trying to fit in. It's not people who are trying to be like everyone else. It's not people who are trying to be loved by everyone else, who are trying to be accepted by everyone else. No, it's people who accept themselves as they are. You see, if you are by yourself most of the time, you don't really need, like, you don't need to reject some aspects of yourself, because no one is rejecting this aspect of yourself. So you can try to understand yourself better without rejecting any aspect of yourself. But people who like being around other people, they will reject some aspects of themselves because other people are rejecting this aspect of themselves. So they'll be like, hey, I gotta reject this aspect of myself, because if I don't, then other people ain't gonna accept me. So I must try to be accepted. I must try to make other people like me. But if you are by yourself, you don't have to reject any aspect of yourself. You try to understand every aspect of yourself. That's why some of the smartest people in our society have been people who like being by themselves, people who enjoy their own company. It's not people who like being around people 24/7. Like they can't even be by themselves. You know, people that I know like being around people all the time are people who are not smart. People who like being around people all the time. Like they've had to reject so many aspects of themselves that this society doesn't accept. Because this society doesn't really want intelligence, you understand? Like, if you're going to be yourself, if you're going to be real, if you're going to be authentic, this society isn't really going to accept you. This society really does reject truth. That is why people who speak the truth are hated in our society. This is why people who speak truth are considered to be toxic in our society. Is it? Someone closed this gate today. What's going on? I think I need to move to the other side. This shows me that I shouldn't be here. I'm not supposed to be here. But I don't like following rules, man. I break the rules all the time. But yeah, man, learn to enjoy your own company. You think being surrounded by, other people is gonna make you feel better, but like if you are alone and you feel like you must have friends, trust me, it's not really worth it. Like if you've never really had friends before, you might think it's worth it. But if you are different and you've never really had friends before, the real reason why you've never really had friends before is because you're too different. So really, people are going to make you feel alone still. Unless you find the right people, but that is rare. That is rare. Chances are the people who are like you don't live where you live. So it won't be easy for you to find like-minded people. It won't be easy for you to find people who you like really connect with. People who really understand you. People who see life from your perspective. You find that it won't be easy. So you still feel alone even when you have friends. And they're not going to treat you the way that you'd like to be treated. They will make you feel alone. Because they don't understand you. Some of them will make you think that there's something wrong with you because they just don't understand you. And most humans are not deep thinkers. Most humans are shallow. Most humans don't really see things as they are. So they will judge you. They will judge you and make you feel alone. That's what I'm telling you. You have to learn to enjoy your own company. It will get to a point where you truly do enjoy your own company. Because you are used to being by yourself. So you've learned how to enjoy your own company. You know what you need to do when you feel lonely. You know what to do when you feel unhappy. You no longer rely on other people. There are people when they feel lonely, they call other people. When they feel lonely, they visit their friends. When they feel unhappy, they try to do things with other people. But if you master the art of being alone, it will get to a point where you know how to cope without really being surrounded by other people. You just be able to cope on your own. So you need to teach yourself to be comfortable with being by yourself. I know people who can't be alone, bro. I know people who are uncomfortable when they're alone. You'd swear there's demons who are trying to attack them when they're alone. Like they really seem uncomfortable when they're alone. They're always seeking for company. Like they don't want to be alone. Remember when you were a child and You couldn't sleep alone. You wanted to sleep with your parents because you couldn't be alone in your room. So you're like, hey, I'm gonna sleep at my parents' room, in my parents' room. Some people feel the way that we used to feel when we were kids. Like they can't be alone. That's not healthy. Because other people will disappoint you, you know. Other people will be doing their own thing. You know, we live in a world where everyone is trying to survive. So if you get too attached, it's you know, when if people who you are attached to leave you, you're not going to be able to cope because you're too attached. You know, other people are your source of happiness. Like, we don't live in a world where there's certainty, where there's like real assurance, where you can be sure that the people who are in your life will be in your life forever. Would like to live in a world where the people who are in our lives will be in our lives forever, but it doesn't work that way. People leave, bruh. People change. People outgrow one another. You know, people find themselves in situations where they'll need to move to new places. So you have to learn to be by yourself and to feel whole being by yourself. We don't live in a kind of world where you can be sure that, you know, the people who are in your life will be in your life forever. It sucks, but we just don't live in that kind of world. Remember, we live in a matrix, and this matrix wants our energy, so sometimes it uses friendships, like it breaks friendships to get energy from us, relationships to get energy from us. You find that you and your partner want to have like a real relationship where you truly connect with one another and grow with each other, but it doesn't work for some reason. The matrix, you know, it wants your energy. You and your friends, you want to have fun and you want everything to be fine, but really it doesn't happen. You're always fighting. This matrix wants your energy, and it's going to use friendships and relationships. It's the kind of world that we live in, whether we like it or not. It's like that. I mean, most relationships don't really work. I know people who have been dating for years, but who ain't happy. They always have problems. They don't know how to solve their problems. You see that their relationship ain't really working. They're just forcing things. Actually, I know people who have friends that they gossip about all the time, that they secretly hate. You know, when they're talking about their friends, you can see that, oh shit, this person really does hate their friend, but they won't really admit that. But it's like that. You know, that's why they say that, like, most people who are going to hurt you in your life ain't like really people who are far away from you. It's people who are really in your life, people who you're close to. It's true. Like, people who want you to fail are people who are close to you. It's not people who don't know you. I mean, do you see someone driving the dopest car in the world and be like, I don't want that person to be driving the dopest car if you're a jealous person? No, you don't know them. But if it's a person who's you believe you're competing with, and you are jealous, because some people are jealous, maybe you don't want to see them driving that dope car. Yeah, it's the people who are close to you who don't want to see you succeed. It's not the people who don't know you. People who don't know you don't care if you succeed, but it's the people who are close to you, people you grew up with, people who were competing with you, who wanted to do better than you, people who felt like you were better than them, and they believe that they're going to feel better if they do better than you. Like it's you know, it's people who know you. Who are jealous of you, who don't really want you to make it, who are competing with you. So isn't it better to just be by yourself, just do your own thing, have fun? Like learn to have fun on your own. Like depend on yourself. Know how to show up, show up for yourself. You see, like you learn a lot of things when you're alone. You learn how to do a lot of things when you're alone, because you're not relying on other people. So you grow, because you are learning how to do things that you would ask other people to do for you, because you are alone. So you're doing these things by yourself, and you grow. So you might even develop new skills because you're doing things by yourself, because you have no one to do these things for you. But if you have many friends, you'll be like, oh yeah, this person knows how to do this, or they might know how to do this, so I'm tell them to do it for me. But if you have no one, you'll be like, I have to learn how to do it because I have no one. You must also realize that even though we interact with other people, even though we live in a world that's full of people, it doesn't really mean we're not alone, because no one sees life the way that you really see life. I want you to understand that the way that you've experienced life, there is no other person in the world who has experienced life exactly how you've experienced it. No one has experienced life exactly how you've experienced it. Like they even experienced life as you. You have experienced life as yourself. So you're alone in that sense, because no one has seen the movie that you've seen. That is why people don't understand one another, because no one really has seen the movie that you've seen. It's only you who have seen the movie that you've seen. Each and every person is concerned with what's going on in their own lives, not what's going on in yours. And even like the jealous people who focus on what's going on in your life, they're not seeing things from your perspective. They're just jealous and they don't want things to work out, and you want things to work out for you. So they're not really seeing what you're seeing. You see, people are different. Sure. So you need to understand that you are actually alone, because you are alone in your own mind. No one is able to enter your mind and access the information that's in your mind. No one is able to see what you see. Even if we develop technology that actually allowed us to see what's going on in other people's minds, we'll still be seeing what's going on in their minds from our own perspective. So we'll be interpreting what's going on in their lives in a way that's different from how they interpret what's going on in their own lives. So still, you are alone. That's what you must realize. You are actually alone. So you need to learn to be comfortable being by yourself. You have to learn to be comfortable being alone. As most of the problems that you've ever had to go through are the problems that were caused by other people. It's not like other people are great, other people know how to love. It's not like they know how to treat one another. Most people just want to gossip. Most people want to compete with you. Most people just want to do better than you. It's like they don't have your best interest at heart. You'd hope that they do have your best interest at heart, but most people just don't have your best interest at heart. They have their best interest at heart. They know what they want, and they are focusing on what they want. They are focusing on what they can get from you, not what they can give you. Find that they're only focusing on what they can get from you, but they don't want to give you anything. They don't want you to benefit from them being in your life. That's how people are. People are selfish. The truth is wicked. So you must learn to master the art of being alone. And not think that there's something wrong with you. And not blame yourself for being alone. If we lived in a perfect society where people really cared about one another, and you were alone, of course it would make sense to think, yeah, there's something wrong with me because I'm alone in this world where other people are perfect and they're doing things right, they care about one another. Why am I alone? But you don't live in a world like that. You live in a world where people don't care about one another, where people are mistreating one another, where people are abusing one another, where people have their own best interest at heart, and they don't care about what they can do for other people. Live in a world where people are selfish. So of course, you can't really think there's something wrong with you. If you can't connect with people who are selfish, if you can't connect with people who gossip about other people, who are competing with you, who are competing with other people, who don't really love other people, you can't really think that there's something wrong with you. So you shouldn't blame yourself for being alone. The world that we live in is truly toxic. We've been programmed to be toxic. We've been programmed to compete with one another rather than trying to connect with one another and try to understand one another and have good, meaningful relationships with one another. When you go online, everyone is complaining about friendships, relationships. Why? It's because we don't really care about one another. Everyone just cares about themselves. So you need to realize that there's something that is not right with this reality that we are experiencing. That is why you feel alone. If you feel alone, but you don't really need to feel alone. That's why you feel like there's something wrong with you when you're alone. But you don't need to feel like there's something wrong with you. Just try to master the art of being alone. Try to understand yourself. Don't ever feel like you've got to fit in. Thank you all guys.